On this week's episode, we talk about the new Pixar movie, Soul.
We talk about the first episodes of WandaVision, the new Marvel Disney Plus show.
And other pop culture news of the week. Disney Plus has been busy this week with new episodes of WandaVision. But first, on Christmas Day, they released a new Disney Pixar film called Soul. And we finally watched it.
Yes, it went completely through my head. Someone at work was like, "Oh, I was watching Soul." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, it came out Christmas." I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess we're busy watching Wonder Woman." Completely forgot about Soul. First of all, another episode that we are. This.
Oh yes.
There we are.
Is it this side?
Yeah. Let
Okay.
me decrease the size of my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
It's really hard.
Yes, we are virtually together.
Mm-hmm.
Me in Centerville and she in Winston Salem.
Yep.
And there was windy today. Not me, of the day here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, who cares? Okay, so Disney Plus. Spoiler alert.
This movie starts with a really big, eventful first 10 minutes, which is pretty standard for Disney Pixar. This is just what they do. So within the first 10 minutes, we're introduced to our main character, Joe Gardner. He is a middle school jazz band instructor and an aspiring jazz pianist. He finally gets like the breakout gig that he's been hoping for. And right after that, he dies. And we see his soul moving to the great beyond. But he freaks out because no way is he going to end his life, or no way is his life going to end right as it's beginning. And so he tries to escape and, runs away from the light. But he ends up in the great before with all these little souls who are getting ready to go to Earth. And he ends up as a mentor for this little soul who's been stuck in the great before for like thousands of years because she just doesn't want to come to Earth. They can't find her spark. They can't. So he says, okay, look, I'll help you find your spark. You get your Earth pass. I'll take the Earth pass so that I can go back to Earth. And this way you can stay here, which you want, and I can go back to Earth, which I want. And then I'm skipping a whole bunch of the really great, beautiful details that make these movies so good. But they end up going back, but in a pretty terrible way. So she ends up in his body in a coma in the hospital, and he ends up in the body of a therapy cat who is sitting there with him. So now 22, the little soul, gets to experience life for the first time, while he, as a cat, is just trying so desperately to make it to this gig, right? His big breakout opportunity as a musician. And in the process, of course, this is where all like the growing, the developing, the learning happens. And yeah, that's like the really short version without giving away too much of the ending. Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Yes. Bit too late. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So the movie star Jamie Foxx's Gardner in Tina Fey as 22, Alicia Braga as one of the Jerrys, and who else? Oh, it's like the British.
It is. Let's show him how to handle this. Hi, Andy. Can you say hi?
Hi, Andy. Love you. Bye.
I'm going to go downstairs for me to play with the Legos.
Oh, we're not going to play Legos right now. We're going to have dinner soon.
But please,
I know. I'm doing a podcast with Daddy.
But mommy, the actually neighbor's going to get it, and it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, I knew that. So why don't you go watch Steven Universe?
Can I just ask?
Grant Norton is this hippie guy. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, funny guy. But yeah, the movie for me, what I thought the movie starts. I thought it started like I don't know. It was kind of simplistic, messy, overcomplicated. It's like it goes.
Really?
I mean, the whole afterlife. It's tough to deal with that, and I don't think they did a great job. I did like the whole uh, and nine beyond and before, but the whole was like why he goes there. Does everybody go there? So everybody go. The whole
Yeah.
non-denominational. There's no judgment. They just go after death. Everybody
Oh,
becomes
sure.
light.
I thought they left it. They left the great beyond is actually extremely vague.
Ye-
They're really dealing more with like the great before, like what's happening before your life and like
yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
point
what
of life.
yeah, that's what I'm saying by simplistic. It's not clear what
Yeah.
happens after life. It depends on what you do in this life, which is something that is like even the whole like extending to the end of the movie, which is not total on this with these issues. But at the end of the movie, the guy defeat the powers of the universe. And okay, you can go on.
He
Let's.
inspired the powers of the universe. Yeah, I was torn about the ending. I was really torn. Like his sacrifice for 22 and his whole like finding inner peace and acceptance, I think would have been a lot more meaningful if he really did just go into the great beyond after that. But it was also nice that he got to have a fresh start and actually live his life. Um,
Wait, did he?
yeah,
No, she did.
no, she was born like as a baby, so
Yeah.
they come to Earth. They through a huge series of like misunderstandings and mishaps and chaos and
Wait. No. Go back to the end. The end. She
yeah,
gets the badge and she goes back. He stays behind.
no, she does not go back to New York City and she doesn't go back to Joe Gardner's
I'm,
body.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that she born.
Yeah,
But he stays
she's
behind.
born. He did stay behind, and then right as he's heading to the great beyond, and he's okay with it, and then one of the Jerrys shows up and says, "Hey, we're in the business of inspiration, but it's not every day that we ourselves get inspired,
Oh,
and
that's right.
we
That's
love
right.
what you did. So if you like, we've arranged things so that you can go back."
That's right. And I agree. If he had go to the great beyond, I thought it would be better.
Yeah,
A
but
sacrifice. And it's like he lived his life and he helped someone to live her life, even if it was like to
yeah,
decided to live. Yeah.
that was really his purpose. Like his passion was playing jazz piano, but we see like little bits throughout the movie that his real purpose, what he's really good at, was helping other people find joy in that.
Yeah.
Like he kept saying like, "Oh, my life was a waste," but he was teaching these kids and
And I
inspiring
guess,
them, like with music to the
yeah, and
extent
I guess that's the
that he became a professional musician, a successful one.
yeah, and I guess that's what they do at the end. It's like he goes back and not to become a musician, but to become a teacher.
Yeah.
But still, if it ended right when she jumps and he goes to Game Beyond, I think it would be more less like, oh, you didn't deceive the great powers of the universe, and we're gonna grant you a prize for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
really like the character of Terry. I think he was very funny. Walking around like, "It's Terry time."
anyways, besides this whole dealing with the afterlife, which I found some issues in the beginning and even at the end, since he defeated the cosmic powers, but once they come down to Earth, I was like, okay, I like this, and I thought it was really really nice. They both
It
both
was.
actors did a terrific job, and the whole, he's trying to fulfill his purpose and his dream, just to realize that, hey, it's not it.
Yeah, and also realize that, like even though he was like a middle-aged man who hadn't ever reached his dream, there was actually a lot of good stuff happening around him.
Yes.
And he didn't realize that until he was stuck as a cat and watching 22 live his life. And
Yeah.
so this is just I think what we've come to expect from Pixar, like these lovely films with like stunning animation. Like, can we talk about like, okay, the jazz performance? They accurately animated a woman playing a saxophone with like this really complicated or complex mechanics. You know, saxophones have lots of like buttons and levers and valves and things like that. And the finger movements on the piano, all of that was spot on.
Okay.
So I just another Pixar animation flex.
Yeah.
Which they do a lot. Yeah, so they have the beautiful animation, the sweet funny stuff, but then also like the let's talk about life and death, meaning and purpose, and what all that's about, you know.
Yeah. There was one joke that I thought it was very funny. There was this whole I know the issue dealing with the afterlife. There was this whole people being in the zone, they are connected to the other life and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then 22 is there, is messing around with everybody. And she, the Knicks are playing, and every time they're about to score, she goes, poof.
Yes. I've been messing with that team for decades.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that she's being trained in messing with the great people from history.
Yeah, it was interesting. It gives lots of food for thought.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was okay. I liked it. I liked it more when they come down to earth, and I was really glad it happened because I was like, oh, if they goes this whole movie through this afterlife, that is not very, it's gonna suck. But no, once they come down and they connect the whole thing, life and afterlife. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good. I remember watching the trailer and wondering if I could handle a whole movie of that, but no, they handled it well. Of course, they handled it well. They're so good.
No, it was good. Besides the issues mentioned, anything else?
No, but you know what else is really good that we watched?
What?
WandaVision.
WandaVision. I mean, really good. Okay. Yes, WandaVision.
Oh, I thought it was good. I thought it was very interesting. I can't wait for more.
It was interesting. It's available on Disney Plus. It's a first Marvel Disney Plus TV show. And there's 2 episodes available. Next one comes out tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And it's gonna be one every week. So the only 2 on the first week. So they released two first episodes, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, cloak and dagger stuff going on. The show starts, and pretty much the entire time presents itself as sitcoms.
Yeah, but like sitcoms like through the decades.
Yes, specifically Lucy would be the first one. I Love Lucy.
Think so. Yeah.
And the second one would be I Dream of Jeannie or
Bewitched.
Bewitched, yes.
There were a lot of Bewitched references.
Yes. And
she's a witch.
As a sitcom, there's not a lot of sitcoms are probably the simplest type of the television narrative. They are like they go back to the radio times. If you close your eyes watching a sitcom, you're not missing anything because it's even when they're not in the center stage as usual, they are on some place that you don't need to be there to see, to recognize. So, oh, they're at the park at this festival. So okay, it's it's not a different planet or a different dimension that doesn't look that you need to see. Anyways, so the shows start that. So there's nothing there. What's there is the whole what the heck is going on?
Yeah, and I think that's why this works. Like you have there's like the fun comedy of like, oh, the I Love Lucy, but with Marvel characters. And they've written some cute sitcom stories to go with it. But yeah, every now and then there's glimpses where you realize they make it very clear that something's going on. Like an ad for was it an ad or a character in the show has a Von Strucker watch. So there's little moments.
Yes, there's an ad for Von Strucker ads, and there's an ad for Stark Toaster.
Yeah, Stark Toaster.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, I've been watching, okay, how nerdy is this? I've been keeping notes in my planner of like little things that I think might end up being clues later on. And I mean, we'll see. But like in the first episode, they make a big deal about this date, August 23rd. So, is that going to be something? Or like the toaster beeps in a weird way. I don't know. We'll see. I
Well,
might be like way over reading into it.
no, there's this big thing that we all know that it's not true because
Yeah.
it's not true. So, uh, the big things we uh, um, teases is well even is more than tease. It actually shows that it's not true. At some moments, she snaps out of that. You know, when the guy is dying during the dinner date,
Yeah.
she's like, "Vision, help him." You know,
Uh-huh.
she gets out of like, "Oh, my husband is his invincible head," and then she go back to Wanda's main mode. And at the end of the first episode, we find out that someone is watching, and
Yes.
someone that works for the sword. We see the sword's
Mhm.
logos everywhere in the room,
Mhm.
and I think from the first episode that was it. And again, there's the
Yeah.
hand you mentioned. People say on the second episode.
Yeah.
Oh, one fun fact. I don't know if you noticed, but since it's like TV shows through the decades,
Mhm.
I noticed that the quality, they both black and white, the
Mhm.
first two, but the quality of the image is like the resolution of the image from the first one
Yeah.
to the second one. I was like, huh, even this, they
Good. Yeah.
was pretty interesting. So uh, on the second one, they go through the Bewitched sort of episode,
Mhm.
and so the neighbor mentions uh, the devil is everywhere, something like that. The devil has many names, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, but it has one name or something like that. And like some people online saying it's like, oh, maybe it's Mephisto. They finally gonna introduce the
Oh.
hell on this
Okay.
Marvel universe, which I think is yeah.
I don't know, something that I was thinking about, way less exciting than that. But so everything that she's this like illusion, whether if it's her who's created this like alternate world for herself or whatever, these sitcoms have one thing in common, and that's this idyllic family life, which is what she and Vision were trying to create together. They wanted to just like run away and have this and just be together. And she's got that. And everything that's happening, like they get married, they have this perfect home, they have silly adventures together. Now all of a sudden she's pregnant. It's like the perfect family life that she and Vision didn't get to have. So if this whole thing, if like her descent into madness is fueled by grief over losing him and grief over what happened in Endgame, like that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, on that note,
Mm-hmm.
The actress that portrayed Monica Rambeau on the show,
Mm-hmm.
she confirmed that the show is right after Endgame.
Oh, okay.
So it could be. I
Mhm.
mean, I still think she's losing it, and she's
Yeah,
being.
but I'm saying like her losing it is like fueled by.
Oh yeah, I agree because she lost her husband, boyfriend.
Mhm.
But yeah, so she's losing it, so she's being held, uh, most
Mhm.
likely in space since the sword, and they have
Oh.
a space station base,
Mhm.
and
It's a good place to keep a super powerful
yeah,
mutant.
and to keep her mind busy, yeah, they projected
Oh.
that.
Something I was wondering, the end credits show these like different images created with like pixels and they're red, blue, and green. Is that a reference to television? Like
Yes, it's the show is called WandaVision. Is like television.
yeah, yeah.
Also a play on Wanda and Vision.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's a thing with TV, and it shapes up like a classic Vision and classic Scarlet Witch from the comic books.
Mhm.
One other thing about the credits is um, there's a thanks for many comic book authors, including Brian Michael Bendis,
Hmm.
that recently wrote for Marvel Comics, including the moment in the books where Wanda flips and says no more mutants, and she basically, because she has the power, her powers are bigger than the movies show, the bigger than she even thinks she controls reality, to the point that she one time she made Magneto's house the royal house of the planet, so the dynasty M. Uh, so mutants, royals, and they rule planet Earth.
Oh
And
my.
in another moment, she said no more mutants, and she raised 90% of the mutant population. So all this
Hmm.
could come to play since they thinking the guys like, why would they, you know?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of hint. I think that she's being held, and the next Marvel movie is gonna be called Multiverse of Madness,
Yes.
and she's scheduled to be on, you
Hmm.
know. And I don't think this is about multiverse. I think she's on Earth, whatever, number one, whatever they call on Marvel Universe, and she's being held because she's gonna go crazy. I'm really curious about not who's holding her, but who's talking to her. You know, on the
Yeah.
radio, someone's like, "Lana, who did this to you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, well, we'll see. So tomorrow's episode should be in the 70s. So maybe like a Brady Bunch type vibe.
Well, now, yeah, it has color and it's the 70s.
Yeah. So I'm just guessing that that would be the
Yeah.
show they reference, Brady Bunch, or like the Partridge Family or something.
Mm.
Uh, we shall see.
Yeah.
Oh, watch it, Disney Plus.
Yes. Yeah. It's yeah. There's a lot of mystery there and a lot of smoke and mirrors. So it's kind of like, because it's a
Mhm.
sitcom, and it's a sitcom pretending to be a sitcom, so it's kind of like, yeah, okay. But yeah, there's
Cute
some
stories.
things there.
Hmm.
It's Marvel TV. It's they trying really hard. Okay. Next, uh, some news.
Yeah. So we've gotten more information about the Snyder Cut. Apparently, so I had thought, and I thought that they had announced it was going to be like a 4 episode limited series type situation, but apparently
Yes,
it's not the case.
they did announce that, but now they
Oh,
announced that no, it's gonna be a 4-hour movie.
okay.
It's a director's cut, and the director is like, why would I split my movie in four? I'm gonna make it 4 hour, and that was the plan. And he's not unfamiliar with making longer movies. He
Hmm.
the cuts director cut of Batman vs Superman is long. Watchmen director's cut is huge.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, I still look forward to
So
watching.
March is gonna be available on HBO Max. And
Mhm.
another news that I found out, I'm pretty excited about. They say they're gonna start selling physical versions right away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's really great.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, and it's also confirmed that the movie will end with all the cliffhangers that are supposed to.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Let's see,
Interesting.
Warner dealing with. Come on, what are we gonna do now? Because they say we're not gonna do more. It's like, oh, you better do it because yeah, release.
I
No,
hope so.
we've been through
They've
stuff.
got such a great cast.
Yeah,
I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see.
and it was always meant to be the first part of a trilogy. So
Hmm. I hope they get to finish it.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
okay. Next is, okay. Let's go over to Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman 1984 is no longer at the top of the box office, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least for the last weekend, the Marksman took over, and yeah, it made more money, which makes sense. New movies will
Yeah.
come, and it will topple the King of the Hill. And Wonder Woman is still going strong on HBO Max until the
Good.
24th.
Okay.
Then it remains a theater exclusive until
Oh,
it's released
interesting.
for home video again. That's the plan. All the movies They will be
Mhm.
released on HBO Max at the same time as the theaters. They will stay there for a month, then they stay exclusive for the theaters.
Okay. All right.
And
Good to
talking
know.
about HBO Max and releases,
Mm-hmm. Godzilla versus King Kong. No, it's just Godzilla versus Kong, right?
yes,
Oh, sorry. Anyway, Godzilla versus Kong is getting moved up 2 months. That's right, moved up 2 months. So now it's going to be released in March.
yes, the end of March, and it looks good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I love these old school monster movies, and the last couple I thought have been really fun.
Yeah.
You know, especially like the design of Godzilla. I don't know. It just looks great to me. I'm excited for that. I liked the King Kong movies, Peter Jackson's, and the more recent one. So yeah, optimistic for this.
Yep.
Okay, John Wick. Those are really good movies, right?
John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually saw this trailer. I'm really excited for this movie, and I wish, like in my head, oh, I wish it was the same universe. But I don't know. It's not clear. But it's this movie called Nobody. It's the trailer reveals that what's his bucket? Saul, Better Call Saul. Oh, it's Odenkirk. I think Bob Odenkirk.
That
He's
sounds right.
he's this accountant, and his house is raided by criminals, and then he goes for revenge, and then they find out that he's not who he seems to be. He seems to be some secret accountant for criminals, and he beat the crap out of them, John Wick style, and it looks good. I'm excited to see that.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the writer who's brought us all these delightful films is working on a Dungeons and Dragons TV series.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about it? Like, is it following like a dungeon master and a group of role playing?
I don't know. There's always hope that they're gonna follow.
Or is it like set in that world? Like,
I don't know. There's always hope they're gonna follow the TV animation show from the 80s. It was very fun.
was it?
But yeah,
Okay.
the guy recently wrote Disney Plus The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so he's busy and he's doing well.
Yeah. Good. That's okay. Let's go over to Marvel again. We've had more news about a Moon Knight movie, maybe. I've got a helper back in here again.
Oscar Isaac is cast to be the main character, and they just announced Ethan Hawke to play the villain.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know the villain's name, or is it just
I
Ava?
can't remember, but
Yeah.
I think the guy's a good actor. It's pretty good casting, and Moon Knight is kind of sort of the Marvel Batman for his wife, so they could do some really
It was totally different.
Yeah, but he's the White Knight vigilante from Marvel Comics. They could do something really adult and interesting, which Marvel didn't do yet.
They haven't, and that would be nice to see. I wonder if Wanda. It seems like some of the TV shows the series they announced, were tending towards that side of things. So I wonder if we'll get more content like that.
We'll see.
We shall see. Gal Gadot is doing great. So Netflix just picked up another film, a spy film, that she'll be starring in called Heart of Stone, and it's in like the very early production, so we don't really know much else about it. But like thriller, spies, Gal Gadot. There we go. Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Netflix releasing stuff every week, right? So she'll come up to the screen.
Yeah. I will never be mad about that. About Gal Gadot on the screen. She's good. She's fun. And Kevin James is doing a new movie for Netflix too.
Is the movie or is it a TV show?
I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't watch the trailer. I'm not like a huge Kevin James fan.
So yeah, it's called The Crew, and it's about a crew.
No
Yeah. Disney Plus announced its new Doogie Howser.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it
it's
did.
a
And
girl.
mm-hmm.
It's a girl. I look at the picture. She looks Asian. So
It's
that's
Hawaiian.
huh
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, there you have it. Uh,
Yeah, so it looked. I read a little bit more about her. She's done a Disney Channel show before, so she's already a Disney veteran. And her name, her name isn't it. They're changing the character's name. It's not Doogie Howser. It's Doogie Kamehameha or something like that.
yeah. I read about that like a while
Yeah.
ago. Yeah,
So.
but yeah, the plot I think it remains the same. It's a girl genius
Mhm.
that becomes a
Yeah.
doctor really, really young. And is gonna be
Yes.
antagonized by regular doctors.
And also, but also like her own coming of age and like her parents trying to deal with this. And something that I didn't know before, but it looks like this is only going to be a 10 episode,
Oh, so it's a limited
like
series.
a short, limited series.
Okay.
But if it's really popular, they might do more with it. I don't know.
Yeah, depends on
We'll see.
I'll do right. If she dies at the end, that would be impossible. Anyways,
That would be a major bummer. Yeah.
Gene Gaffigan to play Mr. Smee in
Yeah.
Peter Pan and Wendy. He's gonna join. I forgot the name of the girl.
Me too. But she's on Grownish and Blackish
No,
and
that's Tinkerbell.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
but
you were talking about?
I'm talking about the Wendy. Who's Wendy? Peter Pan.
Oh, Wendy. Oh, I don't remember.
But that
Trying to
guy.
read your mind didn't work.
But Jude Law is involved. Anyways, he's gonna
Okay.
be Captain Hook. Yeah. So Willy Wonka. This is a fresh one. In
Yeah.
a couple days. Willy Wonka is gonna get a prequel origin story.
I'm not happy about this
Why?
because I think it's a mystery box that needs to stay closed.
Yeah, sure.
I think like the enigma part of the
Did you see
character, like, he's an enigma. He's a mystery.
you saw the one with Johnny Depp,
Johnny
right?
Depp.
It has
Yeah.
flashbacks. So I
Yeah.
went to this island and found the balloon buzz. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But also
I
I'm
don't
kind of a Roald Dahl loyalist and
Yeah,
he didn't give it Willy Wonka an origin.
that's
And
true.
like that's part of like the mystery and the enigma of Wonka chocolates. Like how did he do
But
it?
Hollywood is not creative. It relies on reboots, remakes, prequel sequels,
Yeah.
revivals because they save and they don't require them to think and create new things. So
Well, you know what? Roald Dahl actually wrote a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and
yeah.
it's called Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Or maybe it's Willy Wonka's Great Glass Elevator. Anyway,
Okay, they could
Great
go
Glass
for that.
Elevator, yeah. And I remember not liking the book very much, and maybe that's why they haven't done anything with it. But like, there is material there.
Yeah, I guess they
I
could
don't
go for that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's announced. That's all we know. I don't think they're gonna get that for it because yeah. We're talking
Yeah.
about prequels real quick. The one for Oz, I thought it was okay. I thought it wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't wicked, but it was okay. Yeah, the one with Franco. Okay.
Actually.
Okay, CBS or Access. It's a full month. It's finally rebranded for Paramount Plus on March 4th. So
Yes. So
yeah,
join
and to kill the confusion, because CBS All Access seems like, oh, let's go online. I have to pay to watch this. Yeah, no, you have to pay to watch Paramount Plus. Okay.
Titans has cast. They've added to their cast for season 3, and what we're gonna. Barbara Gordon / Oracle is going to be joining the Titans.
Yes,
Or
Barbara
at least joining the
Gordon.
show.
What?
Well, at least joining the show, even if she's not officially a Titan, she'll be joining the show.
Yeah, but yes, she's. Yeah, they finally cast the original Batgirl, the original female part of the Bat family. Even though now she's in the independent. I mean, they work together. She's the main source of information in the DC universe. Every time someone needs information, they call the Oracle. And
Yeah.
it's very exciting. It's a really cool character. It's finally made it to the screens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they'll do her justice too. She's a cool character, and she's been through a lot. And to go through what she went through and then come out on the other side as someone that important, I think is very cool.
Yeah.
So,
More
all
from
right.
more from the Batman world. HBO Max announced that they might make a sequel for the classic Batman animated series.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be cool. Having Conroy back as on the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great voice. So this wouldn't be like a Batman Beyond type sequel. This would be
No.
just like another season type situation.
Yeah. The show is short. I think it only has 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than its own containment. It's just it goes beyond, even beyond that and beyond.
Uh-huh. Yeah. HBO or DC's done such a great job with their animations. But anyway, we're getting some more Game of Thrones content. HBO is developing a Dunk and Egg series.
Yeah, Tales of Dunk and Egg.
Yeah.
It's based on a book of the same name about Aaron the Fifth Targaryen and a guy called Dunk. I can't remember the details, but yeah. So another Game of Thrones show's coming to HBO.
Yes. The book apparently takes place 90 years before the events of the Game of Thrones series and the whole Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes.
So loosely connected, but not really.
Yeah, it's closer than the other show, the House of the Dragon, whatever they call.
Yeah.
That's like thousands of years before.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Tell me more about Extraction 2.
So the Russo brothers announced that they are shooting Extraction 2, and soon they're gonna start shooting.
Okay.
So we're gonna see what the heck happened at the end, because the kid was like underwater, and then he gets out. We see what looks like to be Chris Hemsworth's character, but he died.
Or did he?
I don't know. It could be a Force ghost.
It could be.
Yeah.
It's not the first time a mighty hero has been trained by a Force ghost.
Yeah. Russo brothers also have the trailer for Cherry out there with Tom Holland. You saw the trailer, right?
I did see the trailer, yes. And this one was interesting because our sweet, baby-faced, innocent little Tom Holland is turned bank robber. It's all dark and sad, and yeah.
Yeah, the character is deep.
For him.
And it's the Russo brothers did both on Extraction and on this. They showed wow, this guy's like cool, interesting movies without a joke every 5 seconds.
Yeah, they've got range.
Yeah.
They've got range. They're good at what they do. Something that I was unsure about. There's a line a couple times he says in the trailer something like, "Sometimes I can see everything that's gonna," or sometimes I feel like I can see everything that's gonna happen, and it makes me miserable, or something like that. And it made me wonder, if there's a sci-fi aspect to this, or if that's just a metaphor or something.
I don't know. I didn't think about it. I thought he was metaphor.
Yeah. Okay, and he probably is.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since Extraction, considering the ending of the first one, might have some supernatural element, maybe this one has too. I don't know about this one, but Extraction is based on a comic book, and there's no limit there.
You you want. Cool. So, Cherry, do we have a release date for that?
Yeah, it's I think it's March in the theaters.
Okay.
No, February in the theaters, and March on Apple Plus, something like that. It's coming
soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Look forward to it.
So Superman and Lois got trailer
Mm-hmm.
also got a date. It's a supersized premiere. It's gonna be 90 minutes, including the 1 hour episode and a 30-minute special called Superman and Lois: The Legacy.
Okay.
And then all that will push the Flash to March, which is not a lot because this whole Superman thing is gonna be the end of February, and the Flash is
Yeah.
gonna be the beginning of March.
Okay.
But you saw the trailer for Superman?
I did. I didn't feel like it revealed a whole lot about the story, but I really liked the speech, like Clark's monologue about being forged into steel by like the things that you go through and how
I
your
think it
family
does.
picks you up at the end.
I think it does tell us a lot about the story
Yeah.
because
Okay, tell me more.
apparently, uh, uh, they said they don't have a job, so they moved to Kansas. They live in Kansas, and
Okay.
they are full-time parents. And yeah, that's a whole different ball game for them.
Yeah.
They,
So that kid, we see like flashes of a kid. I just assumed it was Clark growing up in Smallville, but would that be their kid? Would that or like a
I,
Superboy or something like that?
now that you mention, I have to rewatch it, but I think
Yeah.
all the time the kids that show up are their kids.
Okay. Because this kid looked like a teenager.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Huh. I think I made
it's about teenager parents. That's
yeah.
something. It's a whole different ball game. They have to deal with living in Kansas and Smallville, and with younger kids. And the
Mhm.
show will be about raising kids during these days
Yeah.
and having special problems and abilities to deal with.
I wonder if maybe it'd be too cheesy, but it'd be kind of cool if they used the Smallville set or if like
It
a
doesn't
similar.
look like it. It looks like the farm is like a big time farm. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like it's because the Smallville farm was, I don't know. I never been to Kansas, but from the
Mhm.
Wizard of Oz and some other fiction references I have, I see a lot of empty places. And in Smallville, there was like a lot of woods and stuff. I was like, it look like those don't look like Kansas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this one it looks like a lot of empty places and this
Hmm.
big farmhouse. Oh,
That's
wait,
true.
let me
Okay.
get it like this. Oh, next time.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will see. I hope there's some nods to Smallville. I really enjoyed that TV show.
Yeah, of course.
And it's another CW Superman, and it sounds like maybe they're going to be covering some similar ground, like the superhero kid growing up in like super ordinary America and navigating all like the challenges of being a teenager, which is
Yes.
inherently miserably difficult, along with all the challenges of like developing powers and stuff.
Oh, there's like super the kid is not parent vibes, they show like the kids dying, and they show like Clark's gonna have to be the parent. And yeah, no, definitely gonna play on Smallville. And again, Hollywood lack of creativity. This could definitely be a Smallville reboot, but with different names, different characters. Like Mask was a new show.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll watch it. And
Someone talks to him during the barbecue scene. There, I was like, "Oh, is that Atlanta?" Anyways, yeah.
I wonder if we watched the same trailer. Because like the one I watched was just like a montage of images with Clark talking over the top, and then I
Did Sam Lane showed up?
don't think so.
Lois' father did. Let's see what else. Did he fly carrying a car?
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I watched it. This whole long distance thing is so frustrating. Okay.
I'll send you the
Yeah.
trailer. I
Send me
saw you
the
sent me the trailer. You saw, so we can, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Superman and Lois are part of the
Yeah.
new CW seasons coming in February, the end of February. Yeah, close to the Superman anniversary,
Mhm.
which is a birthday, which is February 29. Yeah, what else?
I think that's everything. That was everything on my list.
Okay, so I guess that's it for this week. We
Mhm.
come back next week with more news and from entertainment and movies, comic books, games, video games. And yeah, may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.